The United Nations, as a refugee agency, has said it is very grateful that officials in Thailand did not deport an 180-year-old Saudi woman who fled her family at the weekend. Rahaf Mohammed Al Qunan refused to board a flight from Bangkok to Kuwait on Monday and had barricaded herself into her airport hotel room. She said she feared her family would kill her, as she had renounced Islam. Renunciation, known as apostasy, is punishable by death in Saudi Arabia. Ms. Mohammed Al Qunan left Bangkok Airport under the care of the United Nations. Her Thai immigration officials had said that she should return to Kuwait, where her family is. The United Nations has said that Ms. Mohammed Al Qunan's asylum claim would take several days to assess. Saudi Arabia's embassy in Thailand has denied that its government in Riyadh requested her extradition, reports the Reuters news agency. My brothers and family and the Saudi embassy will be waiting for me in Kuwait, Ms. Mohammed Al Qunan earlier told Reuters. My life is in danger. My family threatens to kill me for the most trivial things. Her relatives have not commented on her claims. Rights groups including Human Rights Watch have expressed grave concerns for Ms. Mohammed Al Qunan, who had traveled to Thailand for a connecting flight to Australia, where she hoped to seek asylum. The Australian government said it would closely monitor the case, calling Ms. Mohammed Al Qunan's allegations deeply concerning. On Monday evening local time, Thailand's Chief of Immigration Police, Prakit Hakparn, confirmed that Ms. Mohammed Al Qunan was allowed to stay, and that she left the airport with the United Nations. He earlier said the country would take care of her as best we can, adding, she is now under the sovereignty of Thailand. No one and no embassy can force her to go anywhere. Thailand is a land of smiles. We will not send anyone to die, Mr. Prakit said. He would meet Saudi diplomats on Tuesday to clarify Thailand's decision. Ms. Mohammed Al Qunan tweeted that her father had arrived, which worried and scared me a lot, but said she felt safe under the United Nations help protection with the agreement of Thailand authorities. Hey, I am Rahaf. My father just arrived, as I heard, which worried and scared me a lot, and I want to go to another country that I seek asylum in, but at least I feel safe now and United Nations help protection with the agreement of Thailand authorities. And I finally got my passport back. Pic. Twitter. Compass7v7. End of Twitter post by @Rahaf8442771. Thailand is not a signatory to the United Nations Refugee Convention and provides no legal protection to asylum seekers, although there are more than 100,000 refugees in the country. An injunction filed by Thai lawyers in Bangkok Criminal Court to stop the deportation was dismissed earlier on Monday. A popular tourist attraction has become the latest Chinese company to show solidarity with Huawei's chief finance officer, Meng Wanzhou, who was arrested in Canada on December. Shannon Mountain Scenic Park in eastern Henan Province said it would waive the $9.40 65 yuan ticket fee for anyone carrying a Huawei phone. Ms. Meng, who was given bail in Canada, faces extradition to the United States on charges of breaking Iran sanctions. Her case has upped tensions with China. U.S. Huawei phones shoot grand photos on the mountain. A notice on the Shan'an Park's social media account said, "We wish friends around the world who support Huawei success in bliss." The offer would last until 29 December, the South China Morning Post reported, but it was met with some criticism among China's social media users, who claimed it was discriminatory. Huawei phone owners are being offered other enticements too. They can get a 20% discount at a bar in Beijing. Seen in Beijing, bring a Huawei phone and get 20% off. Similar to this story, we covered yesterday https://COQXL1IYPQL Twitter.com Sokolov. End of Twitter post by @LuoShunji. At least one firm has threatened to penalize anyone buying Apple products. A few days ago, Manpad, a Shenzhen-based LED display manufacturer, offered subsidies to any employees buying Huawei phones. It also pledged to fine anyone who bought an Apple iPhone. United States prosecutors alleged Ms. May 46 used a Huawei subsidiary called Skycom to evade sanctions on Iran between 2009 and 2014. They also allege she publicly misrepresented Skycom as being a separate company from Huawei, and that she deceived banks about the true relationship between the two companies. Ms. May, who is the daughter of Huawei's founder, has denied any wrongdoing and said she will contest the allegations. Life of Huawei's high-flying heiress. The United States has been investigating the Chinese telecoms giant, the world's second-largest smartphone maker, since 2016. Believing that it used Skycom to bring the United States manufacturing equipment and millions of dollars in transactions to Iran in violation of sanctions. Ms. May's detention comes amid an increasingly acrimonious trade dispute between Washington and Beijing. China is angry at her detention, saying she has not violated any laws. Beijing has threatened severe consequences unless Canada releases the executive. Since her arrest, 2 Canadians, a former diplomat and a businessman, have been detained in China on suspicion of harming national security. United States President Donald Trump said last week that he might intervene in the United States Justice Department's case against Ms. May if it would serve national security interests or help achieve a trade deal with China. If I think it's good for what will be certainly the largest trade deal ever made, which is a very important thing, what's good for national security, I would certainly intervene if I thought it was necessary, he told Reuters news agency. Canada reacted by urging Mr. Trump not to politicize the situation. Our extradition partners should not seek to politicize the extradition process or use it for ends other than the pursuit of justice, Foreign Minister Chrystia Freeland said. A popular tourist attraction has become the latest Chinese company to show solidarity with Huawei's chief finance officer, Meng Wanzhou, who was arrested in Canada on 1 December. Shannon Mountain Scenic Park in eastern Henan Province said it would waive the $9.40 65 yuan ticket fee for anyone carrying a Huawei phone. Ms. May, who was given bail in Canada, faces extradition to the United States on charges of breaking Iran sanctions. Her case has upped tensions with China. U.S. Huawei phones shoot grand photos on the mountain. A notice on the Shan'an Park's social media account said, "We wish friends around the world who who support Huawei success in Bliss. The offer would last until 29 December, the South China Morning Post reported, but it was met with some criticism among China's social media users, who claimed it was discriminatory. Huawei phone owners are being offered other enticements too. They can get a 20% discount at a bar in Beijing. Seen in Beijing, bring a Huawei phone and get 20% off. Similar to this story, we covered yesterday https://t://QQXL1IYPQL pic. Twitter.